Hi folks, Gary Kelly here from gkmedia.ie. Firstly, I want to thank everyone for the support of our podcast, Gary Talks, over the past few weeks. The reaction has been incredible, and I'm delighted that you are finding the content helpful. As expected, being from Ireland, we have a strong base here on the Emerald Isle, but I'm blown away by the response we're getting from our friends in the United States, especially on the West Coast. So thank you all for your ongoing support and for taking the time to listen. I've been listening to so many conversations this week, and there's so much on my mind. So many of us are reacting so differently to COVID-19, positively and negatively, even destructively. I came across a great blog online recently which said, "We're not all in the same boat. We're in the same storm, but not in the same boat." All of us are facing different challenges with this situation at the moment that we're going through globally. Some people might be financially better off, others worse. Some people may be working longer hours for less pay. But there's no doubt we are all facing difficulties with this. Firstly, I want to say, if you're finding this hard, which you've every right to, start avoiding all the happy social media posts that are out there. Everyone on social media tries to post the best version of themselves. Often what you see is a mask, a front, a small percentage of the truth. Don't think everyone is dealing well with this. I know of children in primary school that are stressed and suffering from anxiety. I've met those that have been laid off who are suffering from depression. I know of parents who have separated. There have been plenty of tears behind closed doors, plenty of screams, plenty of shouting, lots of stress, lots of anger, frustration, lots of unhappiness. But today, from a business perspective, let's try and focus on what you can do today. This is a GK Media podcast. I firmly believe, and many coaches will tell you, the answer to your problem is between your ears. We often have the solution or know the answer, but we either refuse to acknowledge it or just don't know how to search it out. But it's the same old saying, follow your gut. You do have the answer. It's just about finding the answer within and making you aware of it. If you've been waiting for this pandemic to pass and done relatively nothing over the past few weeks, then quite frankly, in my humble opinion, I think your business won't last too long, regardless of how long you are in business. I know one local organisation whose turnover is millions upon millions per year. They have a wide range of businesses in the hospitality sector that are all closed right now. But you know what? They are still branding. They are still working away behind the scenes. Yesterday, I heard a national cinema giving away tickets on a radio show. Now, the doors of this bricks and mortar business are closed right now. But it doesn't mean that you just close the business itself by putting your head in the sand. If you do nothing and your competition you may not even know exists, if you do nothing, that position you once held will be taken from you very quickly. You need to be working probably harder than ever to ensure that there's a place for you, a market for you after this pandemic disappears and a new normal comes to be. Because what was normal won't exist anymore. It'll be a new normal. And people now may even start following, like Generation Z, brands that have a cause, that are focused on improving society, improving the environment. So you may have had a business for 40 years, but people's attitude, people's way of thinking, it's all changing right now. And they're going to have a new perspective when this all comes to an end and a new beginning starts. And to be ready, to be part of that chapter, you need to start preparing. Assume now that there's not €1 going to come into your business, not $1 for the next 6 months. What are you going to do to generate €1 now? What can you do right now that'll bring €1, $1, a pound, whatever, into your business? I always say it's easy to be an entrepreneur or call yourself an entrepreneur when the economy is booming. Try to be an entrepreneur when there's a recession, when there's very little money around. You need to start being creative, finding solutions, meeting demand, anticipating what's around the corner next. Have your ear to the ground and try to use the crystal ball and forecast, human reaction of what's to come next. To survive in business tomorrow, you need to do what will ensure you survive today, that you survive now. So again, ask yourself, what can I do now to make money? With all that's around you, with all the places that are closed, with all the people that are unemployed, what is it you can do to still find an area, product, service where you can still bring value? You need to accept that probably what you did before as a business model now needs to completely change. And there may be a grieving period involved in that. You may go through the various stages of anger, frustration, denial, acceptance. Probably in the wrong order there, but you get the idea. But what makes us humans great at survival is adapting. We constantly adapt to new situations, new environments, new circumstances. Because if we don't, it's game over. Stop focusing on what always worked before. Stop focusing on what was great before. Create something that can work for us today and into the future. Don't be hard on yourself, but don't freeze. Just keep moving. Keep taking it day by day, step by step. Use this time to audit your website and social media channels. Plan and devise content you can publish now for the next 12 months. Start writing up and implementing new policies in reaction to how your business will move forward and adapt to a working environment whilst this virus exists and mutates over the next unknown period of time. Talk to your staff. I'm talking more to my staff than I ever did. I'm keeping the channels of communication open. It's good for morale, it's good for brainstorming, it's good for everyone. Engage with your customers as well. Again, I repeat, engage with your customers. The doors may be closed, but the business is still there. It still plans on trading. Engage. Plan for today, tomorrow, and the future. Now, are you availing of grants that are out there to help you? In Ireland, the local enterprise offices are offering grants of up to 90% or $2.5 max that you can put towards building a new website or upgrading your current one. You can use the funds for getting IT consultations, developing and implementing digital strategies. Use the opportunities that are there that will never be here again. Even when was the last time you did a SWOT analysis of your business? Because things have changed, the environment is different, you need to update your SWOT analysis as well. The two key elements you need to move forward are focus and discipline. And neither of them are easy at the moment. But even if you get 2 quality hours of focus and discipline per day at the moment, it's still an achievement. You're still moving forward. And again, I know it's not easy for people at the moment. It's difficult. If you're trying to work from home and you have children to mind, to educate, a house that needs constant cleaning, dinners that need to be cooked, maybe you have to play the role of a teacher as well. Playtime needs to be allocated, time for family members, partners, loved ones. It's difficult. I get it. I have 2 children. I have a wife who got temporarily laid off. It's tough on all of us. I lost 90% of my forecast business within the past 4 weeks. And it sucks. But we are adapting. We're taking it day by day. I'm regrowing a newer model of my business now, brick by brick. Set your goals, set your time frame, think big. Say to yourself, this is an opportunity now for me to blank. To do what? What is this an opportunity now for you to do? It is a time to invest, even if that's just energy. But I would also be investing in branding, growth, scale, divergence, and so on. And use people you trust as a sounding board with your ideas for your new business model, or indeed a new business entirely. Maybe the business you had just won't work anymore. And that's fine. But if you want to be a business owner, if you want to be an entrepreneur, come up with a new business. But share your ideas with people you trust. Because feedback is what will make our ideas better. The more minds, the greater the depth and wealth of thought. Personally for me, this is like going back to 2013 when I first started GK Media. Right now I'm thinking blank canvas. New ideas and solutions relevant to today. What do I know and what can I do? And then how can you use the team and customers you have to scale this up? Even if there's a new product or service you're going to offer, maybe you can give a hefty discount to people who subscribe to it now or who buy it now. And again, if there's a new product or service that you have in mind, maybe make a list of the key people you need to reach out to. Make it 10 people, 20 people, 30 people. Who can help you scale? Who has a connection? I mean, people are at home now. Most people are at home. They're more accessible than they ever were. Reach out. We all need help. Don't be shy. Who is speaking to maybe your new target audience? Who can funnel, drive traffic back to you? You know, when this is over, don't look back with regrets that you didn't use your time effectively. One of the big exams here in Ireland is the Leaving Cert. And I remember the morning of my Leaving Cert starting, my father said to me, all we want you to do is to do your best. So they weren't saying we expect you to become a brain surgeon. We're not expecting you to get full points across the board. All we want is for you to do your best. And regardless of the situations you're going through now, whether it's tough or whether it's enjoyable, as long as you can look back and say, look, I know I did my best. I think that's the most important comfort you can give to yourself, no matter what is to come. Because when normality or the new normality begins, a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of new business owners are going to be ready to launch off the market full speed. If you have a business idea, if you have a business model, don't be left behind in the dust. Stay positive, stay sane, keep taking it day by day, keep moving step by step. As always, feel free to reach out, contact me. You can follow GK Media on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram as Gary Talks. I'd love to hear from you. And please subscribe to this podcast, share it with your friends, with your colleagues. If you got anything out of it, maybe you can do some good today by passing it on to someone else. Say, look, I found this helpful. I found it encouraging. Hopefully it'll do the same for you too. So let's look after one another and let's keep building brick by brick for the new normality.